this is what makes this game amazing, right? This game right here, because at the end of the day, you find out the one thing that matters. This game is not about X's and O's, not executing. It's not about what did you run, how much you lived last summer. It's about your heart. It's about your effort. So I think this game we find the most about the University of Miami Hurricane football team right now. I think this game you find out that, like you mentioned, the nucleus of guys that we can really build on and move towards the future.
Yeah.
Because again, everything goes out of the window in a game like this. It doesn't matter what your record is.
But
doesn't matter what you,
with an undisciplined team, does that make you more nervous?
Discipline doesn't matter. This is right now. You got to find the guys
that's how big shit happens.
No, you got to find the guys that want to. You got to find the guys that want to be violent, want to be physical, and want to play. Who cares about MAs? None of that matters now. Like I'm being dead ass serious. This is out here. You're going out here and you're just playing with all your heart. Especially if you're coming in as an underdog, which there will definitely be dogs, right?
At home it was 9.5.
At home?
9.5 it opened up.
That's what listen, it throws it on even thicker. How are you not upset about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Out the Huddle. This week, you know exactly what's going down. It's probably the most anticipated week in Miami sports every single year. Usually following around my birthday. I usually get the blessing of having this game on my birthday. But
when's your birthday?
October 10th. But now it's like, it's getting pushed a little bit closer to Thanksgiving, and I imagine it's even going to get weirder now that we keep going on with this ACC, NCAA rotational stuff that they got going on with schedules. But this is probably by far the most important week for University of Miami. And I know not necessarily because of where we stand right now or where we have stood in the past, but there's just some kind of fire, gasoline, torch that gets ignited every single time this week comes amongst us. Former players as us, I don't know, man. I wake up with cold sweats sometimes. I find myself getting a little bit more ornery throughout the week. The kids might get a little crap to the back of the head once in a while. I might be on edge, bro. This week I'm on edge at my house. And then if I keep hearing that, if I hear that, and I start watching different television shows and they start doing, they're breaking them down, whether it's Fox or ESPN, they're always breaking down the Miami rivalry. And this week, primetime television, which kind of blew my mind. Were you guys shocked at all when you heard that we were going to be at 7:30?
Big time.
But
Big time.
I
thought they were going to try to do like a 10:30 game.
I thought we were 12 o'clock in Comedy Central or something.
You thought it was going to be the over the water, the European football game at 9:30 in the morning.
10:30 a.m.
Hey, this is good for Dime Life, right? Because you guys are about to have a big old tailgate or something going on, right?
Definitely big for Dime
Absolutely,
Life.
man.
Y'all coming? Who coming? You coming?
Absolutely.
I'll be doing a pregame show, so have a shot for me.
I'll be there.
No. Listen, my tailgate gonna go through the game.
Are you going to be setting up?
Are you going to inside the game?
Yeah. I'm going inside the game.
You get about 6. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's not like the regular 2 or 3 hour. You can arrange to get set up a little bit earlier.
Yeah. We'll be posted up there around 2:30.
And that's going to be with the Modelo and University of Miami
Legally,
crew?
the gates are open?
I know a guy that knows a guy.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up.
Always knows a guy. Miami Gardens, you got to know a guy over there. But yeah, so we're all excited about this. I don't know why we could be, and obviously our record kind of doesn't really do well for us at this point in time. And Florida State, unfortunately, they look like to be the better team right now in the state of Florida, which is something that we never anticipated at all going into the season, especially, the giant steroid shot that we took with Mario Cristobal being our head football coach and then the illustrious coaching staff that we brought in. But for the most part, it doesn't really matter. I think all of our records, all of our high school history against each other, the rivalry just continues to burn. There's that ember that will never be able to get put out. And it just continues to burn. Any South Florida kid, any big recruit in South Florida, or even for the state of Florida for that matter, is always watching this game. And sometimes decisions on future colleges are made based off of this game. It's more violent. It's faster. There's more shit talking going on. The swagger comes out. Unfortunately, due to the era that we play in nowadays, the IG comes out like it's going out of style. Fans get involved. That's why they got to go on dimelife.com and go ahead and buy your gear. DJ's dropping a bunch of gear for this week as well, whether it's hats, shirts, you name it. Get in the Discord too. For all of you out there that are not part of the Discord yet, follow Dime Life. Get on the Discord like DJ's talking about, dropping NFTs, crazy parties, discounts all over town. Everybody affiliated with it ultimately either runs, has, or is affiliated somehow with a business in town. So you can go ahead and save some money. You can be part of some really cool things. So make sure you guys get on dimelife.com, get part of the Discord, follow them on Twitter, follow them on Instagram, that whole shebang, Facebook, you name it. Out the Huddle, Dime Life. It's going to be the most intense week, I think, for the University of Miami, because although North Carolina, yes, Middle Tennessee, yes, Duke, yes, we understand. We bent over and we took that thing so hard. We took that thing, hashtag
pause.
Hashtag no. Hashtag no. But yeah, we just got ran through. Like, we really did. There's no way to sugarcoat it. We got ran through. But a lot of I don't know if you want to call them termites come out of the wood for this game. So whether it's the fans that haven't been around in a long time, the fans that are super excited, that want to go ahead and hang their hat on the fact that you could say at the end of the year, well, at least he beat Florida State. This is the game that I wouldn't say changes the trajectory of the program at this point in time, because I think we all know transparently what we are at this point in time, and we know that this is going to take time. And this is going to be a program that's going to be built up based off of basically what Mario Cristobal is going to build and his coaching staff. So looking forward, today is Monday. We're doing this thing right now live on a Monday. We haven't really heard much about any kind of injury report coming out. We don't know what's up with Garcia and that weak ass end zone throw pass that I don't know what the hell he was doing. You're trying to tell me that we're gonna get into this game really quick too, because I don't know about the rest of the world that was watching this game, but Saturday I straight up took off and went to Publix. I ain't gonna lie to you. I went to the grocery store at the beginning of the game because once I saw Armstrong miss that dude by about the same amount of feet that he was open from one of our DBs, I couldn't believe it. I was like, if this guy would have just thrown this goddamn ball, we would have had 6 points already. Like, they would have had 6 points already. The game would have been in a total different temperament. And then now I come back and the damn score really didn't change. It was 3-0.
At all.
For the most part. 3-0.
At all. I thought the TV froze.
I had people yesterday. I ended up going to the Falcons game, ladies and gentlemen. And shout out to John Vilma, who was there calling that game. He did a wonderful job, by the way. Good job, John. I was at the game yesterday, and there's a lot of Canes fans in Atlanta. And I was rocking the Uncle Luke Hurricane jacket. Go check those out, by the way. DJ Dime Life Williams. Go check those out on Dime Life as well. He's got some badass jackets on there. The ones, they got like the national championship, got some cool ass styles. They're about to drop something for Christmas time too. So, keep your checkbook open. DJ Williams wants it. The Dime Life wants your checkbook open.
You know what I love? I love that you've known me for 20 years and you still say my full name. I love it. That's football. Like,
yeah, I have a hard time.
We call people by last
even
names.
Yesterday in Atlanta, we were doing the Ring of Honor for Todd McClure, but everybody calls him Mud Duck.
Yeah,
and like even in the video, the whatever that video is called that they make a tribute video of Todd, everybody's like Mud, and then even sitting at the tailgate with him, it's like, hey Mud, and I was just like, hi Todd, how are you, sir? I don't know why. I have a hard time.
It doesn't work when you say someone's real name.
No, it's weird. It's just kind of awkward. But yeah. Anyway, back to the game. And if you're going to tell me that we're going to go into 4 overtimes with a team like Virginia and have a final score of 14-12, I would have told you to go straight up fuck off. It ain't going to happen. Like, there's no way in hell that it's going to be that flaccid of a football game, to use a better term for a user that don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Flaccid is not a hard penis. And I don't know why I keep having, multiple references to either bending over or penises. I don't know what's going on.
Hard on.
It must have been a bad weekend for me. I don't know.
Can we get another pause?
We got to. I'm sorry.
Man,
we could. This is the internet, so we could bleep it out. It don't matter. But yeah, I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man. 14-12 at the end of the day, going back and forth, having to resort to 2-point conversions and still not being able to ultimately do anything convincingly at that point. And greedy ass Garcia, I'm not going to lie to you. When you saw a buddy open along the baseline there, like straight up 5 feet in front of him, that he could have just went like that and chucked him the ball. Were you anticipating that, or were you thinking that he was going to go ahead and just basically keep that ball, tuck it, and cross the goal line on his own, his greedy ass? Because he didn't do shit throughout the game. And for all of you out there that are going to try to tell me Jake Garcia is the guy, he ain't.
That's what I was just about to say.
He
right?
ain't.
We were sitting here 2-3 weeks ago, right, when TVD went down.
People screaming his
Garcia
name.
goes in.
Weren't y'all Garcia guys? And was I the TVD dude that said TVD's going to start North Carolina? Both y'all picked Garcia?
Listen.
Huh?
We got CT.
We're allowed to switch out.
You got the CTE pills from the
switched.
Okay.
We got Merriweather CTE pills.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say. I thought I was the only one here that said TVD's gonna be the guy still, because watching Jake in training camp, I was like,
Oh, so you knew that he was like that in camp too?
well, when you watch him in camp now, one, I'll give props to our defensive line, because Mesidor was
shout out to our defense
every snap.
But can you
Taylor,
shout the defense out, or was it poor play by Virginia?
No, man.
No,
I
think
even what's his name came out. Taylor, right?
Leonard Taylor had a phenomenal game.
Balled out all
4
night.
tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks. But I just think the defensive line is what's holding this together, because if you didn't have a push, we would have more wide open, because we're lost in the back end.
Yep.
I mean, just say what it is. We're lost in the back end. There's no communication, no James Williams this game. So then you had to put in a couple younger guys. Now our communication's really gone. But they played pretty good. But the defensive line wreaked havoc during training camp. So when we were watching it, I'm going, is Jake that bad, or is it just our defensive line that good?
Was he going with the ones or the twos?
Both.
Both, okay.
But
because historically,
way different.
First D line usually or the second string D line usually dominates the second string offense.
So they were mixing it up, and honestly, people asked me who looks the best out of the quarterbacks, and I honestly said TVD's your starter, hands down, he's alpha, but Jakari looks better than Jake right now in camp.
So what is with the whole big push for Garcia to be the starting quarterback for this program? Is it because he was basically bypassed last year when he had the opportunity, but TVD was going to go in there because of the injury, and then obviously opportunity took care of itself? But
you come out of high school, you got all those stars next to your name.
So he's a paper champ,
top 50 recruit.
Are we basically looking at him as a paper champ right now, or no?
Paper champ, but again, you just think that what he did in high school will naturally correlate onto the next level.
People don't understand that as well. Like I have a hard time explaining it to people that don't really pick up football. They watch football all the time. They're huge football fans. They watch it on Saturdays and Sundays. But when you compare speed from high school to college and then college to NFL, it is night and day. And I couldn't reiterate harder the fact that when I came back after playing in the NFL and watched my first Canes game on the sideline, I could not get over how goddamn slow it looked to me. It looked like middle school football, like telegraphing blitzes. I could pick up reads on the sideline of certain safeties and certain defensive ends way quicker than any offensive lineman was picking them up. And I was like, this is the most transparent shit I've ever seen in my life.
Is it the actual speed of the athletes, or is it the fact that everybody moves in unison? Because I feel like
that's true.
I don't feel like
it's very well orchestrated. The NFL is again they're relying on athletes to create confusion, and they're able to go ahead and trick offensive linemen or quarterbacks by taking advantage of watching their own film study. They're basically their own football program. That's ultimately what it is. When you get to the NFL, you become your own company. You're obviously accumulated with the other guys that are on the football field, but for the most part, you're your own company. In college athletics, you get the rare 1 or 2 or 3 guys that you'll see on Saturdays that have that level or capability of doing so, or freedom for that matter.
Yes.
Like coaches will give some players that freedom if they are that much of a baller. But for the most part, it's pretty well orchestrated and very, very telegraphic, extremely telegraphic. Especially for the trained eye. Like it really is, especially for the trained eye. So, I found that even this weekend watching it, I couldn't get over it. And again, I don't know who to do I yell at Gaddis for having that many opportunities to get down in your 3 or 4 yards from the freaking goal line, like the line of the goal line or whatever the hell you call it, to score 2-point conversions or to make shit happen within the 25 on the overtimes? Or who do you point at this point in time? Because our wide receivers sure as hell weren't getting open.
No, we ain't got no separation in the wide receivers right now. But I look at Gaddis and say this, we can blame a lot on players, because we always do as former players, and you look at it like, no one's forcing you to catch the ball. Right. You tackle. If I put you in a position to succeed, execute. But the thing that gets me with Gaddis is that that right now we're banged up on the offensive line. They don't communicate very well. They don't know how to pick up the blitz. So what's the easiest way to help out a quarterback identify who's coming from what direction? Spread them out. Don't have the box, stacked like they did against Duke. And that's the reason why TVD got blasted, because you condense it again and the 2 guys came off the side where you couldn't pick it up. So stretch the field. Put him in shotgun and say, look, you can see who's coming to you. Why don't you just do that? I know it's basic, but you can't even pick up a blitz.
And what's sad is because Jakai was back in that center. And I noticed that immediately. I was like, okay, now we got the center kid back. All right, here we're ready to rock and roll. He's going to be able to identify. But then 2 seconds later, I hear that we're starting freshman guard kind of thing. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, now he's got to worry about telling him what to do on every single play, because You know how it is, man. It's your first start, unless you're just like an anomaly and you go in there and just wreak havoc, especially as an offensive lineman.
But I'll say that freshman kid,
He played well.
That boy was,
and he was physical.
That boy was mowing some dudes down.
And he was running further downfield than a lot of the seasoned veteran offensive linemen were. He was helping his running backs up. He was doing all the right things. So yes, kudos. I was very, very happy with Cooper's performance on the weekend. But for the most part, man, I don't know if I'm more let down about Garcia's performance.
I was going to say, you can't, look, you get inside the 5-yard line, you can't blame that on the coach ever, right? There's little that you really can do when it comes to formation. There's little that you can really do to plays. At the end of the day, you're within the 5-yard line. You got 5 yards to get a touchdown, right? But your coach can't dial everything up for you. When you're that close to the end zone,
you gotta be a
it's
football
not
player.
schematic.
No, you gotta be a football
want
player.
to, right?
Yeah.
It's want to.
Yeah, you got to be a football player.
It's like the North Carolina game where you're first and goal from the 1. Aren't your offensive linemen saying,
you get a penalty?
Just give it to them, we're good.
You get a penalty.
We'll get the yard.
Right. But you have to have the confidence, though. You have to have the confidence within your team to say, listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to run the same play 4 times in a row. They're not going to stop it.
We salivated. If you got near the goal line as an offensive lineman, oh my God, all you're doing is just salivating, waiting, and wanting to try to find a way to just crack that dude ahead of you, pull him to the ground. You don't even need to have pushed for the most part. You just need to have a stalemate on
body
the line
on
of
the
scrimmage.
body.
That's it, man. That's it. And then you got a linebacker. It's like straight Oklahoma drill back in the day. You know what I mean? You got a linebacker screaming and crying over the top, trying to peel your freaking fullback's head off. You know, stuff that
it's
you
almost
do.
like that drill that you guys do when you snap the ball and you all take the same steps. That's really all you have to do as an offensive lineman.
That's it. The only guy that has a really bad spot on goal line is the center, because his shoulders are already kind of upright somewhat, and he's got to be able to hand the football off to the quarterback. And that's a tough thing to be able to give the ball to the quarterback without fumbling it, and then having a 300-pounder trying to scream down your throat, and still being able to get the snap off really well. But I don't know, man. And again, the field is way wider than it is deeper at that point in time, whether you're in the red zone or whether you're near the goal line.
That's
so
why
tough.
why would we want to pass the ball?
That's what I didn't get either. And then when he threw it into the triple coverage because he's trying to give 88 the ball, I was like, what do you? And then
you got to go to your cash cow, man.
He floated it.
He's been saving guys.
But you know they're
the
going
last
to go
few
there.
games.
Of course.
Where else is there to go?
I don't know. Come up with creativity.
Where else is there to
creativity.
go? You can't get creative in that short of a field.
Hey, listen, I watch Tennessee
It's your
do all
guy.
types of shit inside the freaking 5.
No, at the end of the day, no. It's your guy versus their guy. Their guys are just better.
But do you notice how all the
So
time
you saying
they
Virginia
made it?
guys are better?
What did it look like?
I'm asking you a question. Duke?
What did it look like?
You think Duke guys are better?
Okay, well, last game, no, because we won. But the other games, what do you say? If you lose, those guys are better. At the end of the day, I don't care what you say.
I think
Like,
schematics are
Middle
so
Tennessee,
important down
Middle
there.
Tennessee was better. You can throw in at the end that day.
They had more want to that game. It's not like they were doing anything exotic. They
Number
just
3
went,
still running.
He goes, I'm just going 9 routes.
He's still running.
He can't stop me.
He's number 3 still running.
He's still doing the Usain Bolt.
He gets drafted. He gets drafted, or he gets a great
Based off of that
free
game.
agent.
We
look.
were literally just talking about that. He made so much money
so much
from that
money.
Miami
so
film.
much money.
Because the dude like 5'9",
So much money.
100 and
You
nothing.
think he's gonna get a shot?
Hell yeah.
Out of there.
They
That
gonna
type
put-
of speed. That type of speed.
But that little pocket rocket.
Listen,
They can't touch you.
The one corner that's supposedly draftable on our team, he smoked. And Tyreek,
So you think that it's
Roscoe was 164 pounds, 150 pounds.
soaking wet. And he
Roscoe.
went 3rd round.
Roscoe was nice,
To
though.
the Bills.
But Bills, right?
Roscoe
Roscoe
was
was.
nice. He had hard turn punts. Like, Roscoe would go across the
He
middle.
was shifty
But
little
again,
bugger.
Roscoe only weighed 150-something pounds. He realized, you can't touch me. If you touch me, I'm probably dead. Like, you literally like can't get touched on a football field.
We talked about Florida State week. Remember Stanford Samuels?
When they caught him, he had to stay
that's right.
overnight.
That's
Yeah.
right.
In the
Pee
rain
and blood.
game.
Pee and
Mhm.
blood.
Was he really?
Bro, that was a setup. That was Brock. That was fucking setup, bro. I mean,
What, but did the
I'm a
safety come across
linebacker.
the field,
Listen,
or how'd
I'm a
it go?
linebacker, and I know in cover 2, even if the guy doesn't sit, which you're supposed to sit as a receiver.
Was Stanford the slot corner?
Yeah, no, it was cover 2. I think he
Oh, he just came
normal,
off his man, yeah.
He came off. Honestly, Roscoe probably should have sat in the void.
Yeah.
But even if he doesn't, as a quarterback, you already know what's going on.
Did Brock float one up for him? Crucified him?
Oh,
Bro, he ran him into the cover 2 corner. What would that play have been called this year?
it wouldn't have been a penalty.
It wouldn't have been a target?
No, he hit him right here.
With his helmet, though.
I can't remember all that. I thought it was a shoulder. If it was the helmet, it wouldn't call targeting. Oh, I mean, listen, I felt it on the sideline.
I mean,
That bad, huh?
What?
when things are that vicious nowadays, I think they automatically
Yeah,
call
they throw
target and
something.
then they go ahead and look. But there's no way I see that play getting overturned on just how violent of a play
It was
that
bad.
it was.
But like Roscoe, I just described him as you couldn't catch him in the phone booth.
Can't
That's
tell,
He's that shifty he was?
What?
bro.
Like,
Shifty.
like better than Santana or?
Shifty
'Cause he
wise?
was
Yeah,
smaller.
shifty wise. Yeah. Santana just had that top end speed. Make her move. Santana
Roscoe
don't get-
ran like a 3.85 and
Yes.
a 5.10.5.
Really?
And you want to know something crazy else
Like a
about
grain
him?
of
Hold on.
rice.
So
Dark grain of rice.
when we were doing our 40s, somehow at 5'9", Roscoe had the longest stride length on the team.
What?
We were trying to figure out so exactly. You can ask Sways.
What was he skipping across?
I don't
Bro.
remember that. But if you actually
If you
watch him
watch,
in his
it's like he
returns,
hops.
he does that.
It was
yeah.
like he hops. He
Really?
5'9", 5'8", stride length,
But
crazy
nice.
long, but stop and
man.
start.
Hey. Yeah, nah. Because everyone goes, who's the quickest dude? Like, Hester. I go, nah.
Hester
is this
kind
one
of
move
glided and leaned.
gone.
Yeah, Hester glided and leaned.
Roscoe
and then once he
make
got
you
top
look
end speed, it was
so
over.
stupid.
Then how long Roscoe last in the league?
At least 8 years.
Yeah, he was in there for a good little minute.
Roscoe was balling in Buffalo.
Yeah, he did some
Yeah.
things.
With the Pro Bowl, punt returns, all that.
No way.
Bro, Roscoe ran back at least 2 or 3 every
Bro,
year.
if you put Roscoe in their offense right now with Josh Allen, oof.
Nasty.
What? You put him in the slot with who you got on the outside? Gabe Davis and my man from Minnesota,
Diggs.
What? Roscoe would eat.
Another element, huh?
Man, McKenzie, the kid they have there, 6,
Yeah.
10 times better than him.
Really?
10 times.
I didn't know that. I know Roscoe was really, really good at what he did. I just never realized it was like that.
If you add the fact that how small he was, like he's that type of guy where he's out in public and then somebody says, "You play in the NFL?" They don't believe it.
Yeah.
You cannot believe it. But lightning quick, tough.
Was he scrappy? Yeah, he was tough.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
tough.
And
Tough.
strong too.
Yeah.
I remember,
Tough.
what was it? Was it my sophomore year? He might have been gone. He was like our emergency backup quarterback. Because, he played quarterback in high school. So he's in practice like, ha! And you're like, he ain't stopping
really?
that.
I heard about him in high school.
Oh, man. You ain't stopping. Nah.
He went to school with Miami High with Dre.
I think that's where it was at.
He back there scatting, running around, and then he throwing the ball
To Dre?
to Big Dre.
That just ain't fair. That ain't fair, bro. Oh my God. But yeah, I not to take a bad turn or not, but yeah, I wasn't thoroughly impressed. It wasn't like a win. I was glad that we won, obviously, right? 4 overtimes to do it. Cool, man. The kids had heart. They kept fighting. That was
That's the
good
positive.
to see. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was what I'm going to take away from that game is, they didn't shit the bed. They kept trying. And regardless of how many attempts it did take to get to 14 points, a whopping 14 points.
Yeah, we got 2 touchdowns. It's all good.
Yeah.
Did we? Did we?
On the score sheet,
Yeah, I was happy with that. But individual performance, I'm sure if you analyze the film and pick the film apart, I'm sure it was just
Nothing stood
MF
out.
and
Nothing
MF
stood
and
out.
everything the whole day. And like offensive line wise, it just didn't look right. We couldn't run the football. We couldn't throw the football. The only thing that was going on ultimately was their quarterback running the football. Like their quarterback, I think probably had more yards rushing than our running back did. He
No,
not?
Parrish had a good game.
Now, Paris,
he
he
had
had
over
120. He about
Yeah, he had
120.
They ran the shit out of him though. They
Yeah.
had like so many carries. What would he average on the
That's it.
weekend? you
No,
know?
his it was nice. He had like 17 carries for like 121,
Oh, okay,
122,
then, yeah, then he
something like
did.
that.
But
But
I
I
don't-
mean, you got to think we couldn't throw the ball, so we really didn't have any other option.
But weren't we giving up like big chunks when that quarterback would tuck it and run? Like we were giving up some like 20-yard runs by that
We
quarterback.
gave up some bombs too.
Yeah.
But then they bend, but they didn't
Held
break.
the fort down, baby.
Gave up field goals.
Is that going to be our mentality and our focus moving forward? Is like just let shit happen,
But
but
look-
is that our
Here's the-
philosophy now?
Here's the thing: you mentioned earlier that we kind of know who and what we are right now.
Right.
I totally disagree.
You don't think we have an identity right now?
Hell no.
You don't
What's
think the kids
our
in those
identity?
locker room know
They
that
have
they
no
need to get the hell out of
identity.
there?
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's a different identity.
But
though.
this is what makes this game amazing, right? This game right here, because at the end of the day, you find out the one thing that matters. This game is not about X's and O's, not executing. It's not about what did you run, how much you lived last summer. It's about your heart. It's about your effort. So I think this game we find the most about the University of Miami Hurricane football team right now. I think this game you find out that, like you mentioned, the nucleus of guys that we can really build on and move towards the future.
Yeah.
Because again, everything goes out of the window in a game like this. It doesn't matter what your record is.
But
Doesn't matter what you-
with an undisciplined team, does that make
And
you more
discipline
nervous?
doesn't matter. This is right now. You got to find the guys
that's how
that
big shit happens.
No,
That's how big
you got to
things
find
happen.
the guys that want to. You got to find the guys that want to be violent, want to be physical, and want to play. Who cares about MAs? None of that matters now. Like I'm being dead ass serious. This is out here. You're going out here and you're just playing with all your heart. Especially if you're coming in as an underdog, which there will definitely be dogs. Right?
At home it was 9.5.
At home?
9.5 it opened up.
That's what listen. It throws it on even thicker. How are you not upset about that? Home game, rivalry, 9.5 underdog.
I think it's down to 8.5.
And it should have been the other way around if you looked at it 6 weeks ago. Should have been the other way around. Like if you got going into this football season right now and you're going to tell us that we were going to be 10-point underdogs at home against the Florida State Seminoles that looked about as dog shit as they could possibly look coming off of last year, and with the coaching situations that they had going on up there, I would have never thunk this.
The positive is if you look at last year, nobody thought we would have lost at Florida State last year. We thought, we're going to win 5 games and we're going to whoop their ass because they're terrible. And guess what? We lost. Yeah. We played one of our worst halves of football of the year. Now, look, Florida State's going to do 2 things. They're going to try to run it down your throat. They're going to hit that Johnny Wilson kid, 6'7" on the outside.
Oh, that kid's huge.
That's what they're going to do. So Tyreek Stevens, you want to make some money? That's going to be your moneymaker this week.
He played well, too. I'm not going to lie to you. I was, he had a couple PBUs, right? That's what you guys call those things, pass breakups, PBUs? That's a short form, the acronym form?
Gino's got 2 interceptions in 18 years of football.
You didn't get many picks at you?
I was a lockdown linebacker. I was like Gino's Island.
Really?
Gino's Island, huh?
Do you want to?
They didn't throw it my way.
We got some film on that?
Did you want to put your phone number out there too for all the people that are like? Do you want any?
Bro, Gino's Island, baby.
I think I
You got
love
film on
some
that?
him.
What's that?
You never really got
You
any
got
picks?
film on that?
It ain't no film.
Oh, yeah, I bet. Oh, it's
Why?
VCR days?
No, but
Yeah, the
why?
VCR,
Why?
VCR.
No,
Yeah.
but listen, nothing happened over there. Nothing to see over here.
Oh, okay.
Cameraman stayed over there.
So did you ever get any pick sixes by chance?
They didn't throw it my way. Gino's Island.
Gino's
You never had
Island.
like a pass breakup. Maybe you jumped and tipped, and then you were able to get it, and then you took off and you ran down the sideline. You never had any of those?
I got 2 picks throughout my whole career.
college and
It
pro.
was almost like a punt. I think I was playing the Titans Christmas Eve or something like that. Yeah, it was like 40 feet in the air. I had to back everybody out. I said, I got it.
And you dropped it.
No,
And
I caught
you
that.
ended up getting it.
Yeah,
Can of corn.
But they didn't throw the rest my way.
None in
Gino's Island.
college?
No, Gino's Island. What do you guys not understand?
We don't fucking believe you. It has nothing to do with understanding. We just don't believe you. There's no
Gino's
way.
Island. The
So
only time that I really got sauced up was, I don't even know this cat's name, and we're not gonna go looking and finding the film.
I think
Johnny,
we should.
A-Rod, Chris, we're gonna just stay out of this one.
What team?
Rutgers. They had this little
Rutgers?
shifty. Remember when we went up to Rutgers?
You mentioned about being nervous about playing against them little dudes that have a lot of heart last week too. I remember you mentioning
I
something
got on
like
the
that.
phone.
Oh,
I
this
hit
was-
Hargraves up. I already knew the answer to the question. I was like, hey, man, who has my help? With first play of the game, he hit me with a Texas route. Bing, hit me. Then the second time, he texts me in and out. Now I have no idea what's going on.
What happened? He didn't get the memo about Gino's Island? He didn't know about it? Evidently.
First class tickets. I'm on my way, baby.
Jesus. So that dude, he did you nice?
I've never in my life been, like I said, I got on the phone because my pride wouldn't allow me to basically say I couldn't cover him. So what I did was I got on the phone several times and I kept saying, hey, when he does this, where's the help? Schematically, it's a part of our defense that somebody's supposed to help me.
Mm-hmm.
We were playing man to man. There was no help.
This is what, 2002?
I'm not giving that. I'm
2001?
gonna make it hard to find, baby.
Well, I'll say this, fans, we did the Quincy Wilson thing, and it looks like he commented on the film last time. So 2001, 2002, Rutgers, hey,
Nah.
if you could tag the guy in the comment section, we got to find out who you are.
There might be a
This guy.
reward at the end of
You
that
know what I'm
rainbow.
saying?
There might be a reward
Maybe a
if you
little
can find
Dime
out.
Life, something,
Man.
Get sauced up an ankle brace, Gino said ankle brace. from
Autographed
that game?
ankle brace?
See, I'm trying to make these Gino Island shirts, and y'all trying to do the opposite.
Well, Gino's Island can sell because just like B got put out there, this is the reason you got Gino's Island, because of him. He made you better. Then created Gino's Island.
There you go. Reverse psychology. Reverse psychology.
It's a spoon. Where's the fork?
So enough poo-pooing about the last week's game against Virginia. We came away with the victory, right? That's all that matters at the end of the day. We came away with the victory. Now we have another one in the dub column. And we're moving on to the biggest week in my mind, in collegiate athletics, I don't care where you're from or what you're talking about. I understand that you're going to have a different opinion. But in my mind, it's the Florida State week, no matter what. Every single year, it's the same. There's a reason why ESPN comes down here and wants to sit and film us. There's a reason why every news outlet in the country, sports coverage, whatever it could be, there's a reason why they always call the University of Miami to try to get nuggets about this big rivalry that continuously happens annually. Florida State, Miami, Miami, Florida State. Why this? Why that? It's the most violent collegiate competition, I believe, that I've ever seen going through the years. And I'd love to go through the years now and pull out probably one of the greatest personal memories that you've ever had against Florida State, or a memory that you've shared with a player, something that really sticks out that you'll never, ever forget the rest of your life. Shout out, I know we got CT and we got issues, but you just ain't going to forget this one because you probably told the damn story 30 times already. But viewers need to know, and they need to get reminded about how important, how badass this game actually is.
Ironically, my story basically bookends my career, right? So, coming out of high school, played linebacker and running back, ended up coming to the University of Miami as a linebacker. Freshman year, played fullback.
Right, I remember. Right? Yeah, no, we've all seen the footage of you scoring touchdowns. Yes, I know.
Scored a touchdown against Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the first time we beat them in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea the magnitude and how big the game was. All I know is I had nine girls in my dorm room at the end of the game. But that's another time.
Here we go, man.
Can anybody else toot your horn?
It got it. Listen, here's what happened. It was me. I ain't going to throw the other guys out there. It was me, about 3-4 other teammates, 9 chicks. We just hit the lights. Pow.
This wasn't 7th Floor Crew. This wasn't G-Reg with the third leg?
No, that's us.
Huh?
Oh,
that's us.
We're going to have to get into that one day, too.
Listen, you know what? And what happened with them?
Not what you mean.
Exactly. Bro, almost got the program. They started talking about getting rid of the program again. My crew, unknown, but we exist.
Yeah, because you guys were pre-social media. We have Facebook.
Bro, we was underworld slum.
You guys are like herpes.
You
were there.
Wait.
You couldn't really but you could never see anything. It never flared up. You never have any bumps.
Simplex 1 or 2. 1 or 2. Because one crew was exactly.
Their crew was like genital warts. You could see exactly and hear and know exactly what they're doing. You guys were like herpes. You just couldn't see it. It was unbelievable.
Barnacle Boys.
That's it, man.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, so again, like I said, it booked in my career. So I came in as a linebacker, ended up playing fullback my first year, scored a touchdown on the game. Which one? Wide what?
The first, that was in the 2000, the Shockey one.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah. And I remember you ran to the right side going into the open end zone.
Yeah, but that's not the play though. So my most memorable play, like I said, bookended my career, was my final game as a Miami Hurricane in the Orange Bowl.
Fake punt.
The fake punt.
Oh,
right. So there's a great background story that a lot of people don't know. So I was notorious throughout my career of running fake punts. Right. So Coach Saul loved it. Former running back, personal protector.
You got to relive your glory days.
Former running back, personal protector. Right. We always had one in the game.
You know why I hated it, Rom? All I had to do was look like an idiot. I didn't get to be involved.
Did you pretend like the ball went over your head?
And as soon as I leave, they let Bosher run the fake punt. I was like, you mother.
That's crazy.
Look, peep what happened, right? So that week, we're going over to play. We noticed that Florida State like to get very aggressive around midfield, go ahead and go for a block. Their blocking formation was a 5-by-3.
Got it.
Right? And
5 guys on the right, 3 guys on the left.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
5-by-3. And so we decided to come out with a trap. And we were going to trap and go towards the weak side, which means we were going to overload the 3 side with like 4 or 5 blockers, right? I can't remember what the code word was, but all week they stressed, we only run this play if it is 5-by-3. Right? 5-by-3, 5-by-3.
Otherwise it's off. Yeah.
Otherwise it's off. Yeah. Right? So we get in the huddle, the play's on, formation breaks, they line up, they're 4-by-4.
And you didn't give a shit.
And let's say Canes means it's on, right? And in Miami means it's off.
Right, okay.
We get out, we break the huddle, we line up, I scan, I look.
You messed it up.
3 CTE, counting 5, 4, 3, trying to count, trying to figure it out.
Right.
And I'm trying to turn 4-by-4 into 5-by-3. and I can't.
You're looking for an excuse.
So I say, forget it. Canes.
Automatically.
All I remember is like
Everybody
the
turn and look
whole,
at
the
you?
up front, no, only one person turned. I remember the up front like tensing up. And all I remember is Twin. Twin go back,
No, he didn't.
looks back at me, right? And I'm like, Canes. And then kind of everybody on the line looking left and right.
I'm like, all right, right out.
And when the shoulders dropped, I was like, they on board. Oh, my old dog, Chris Harv snapped it to me.
Kurt Harv.
Chris Harv snapped it to me.
All 410 pounds of them, baby.
I caught that son of a bitch. I ran about 35 yards. And
Yeah.
before somebody went to tackle me, I slid. I didn't want to get touched. Right?
Yeah, you
Listen.
did. Why did you do that?
Bro, listen.
What
First of
happened
all,
to the shake?
no.
De La Salle?
Listen, here was my mindset, right? My mindset was like, look, it's 14-16, 3 to 4 minutes left in the game. We don't want to give them the ball back and have them the last opportunity to win. I took it upon myself
Oh,
there we go.
to close this some of my bitch out.
Non-selfish play over here.
I took
Fantasy
this.
owners
No.
hate 'em.
Here's the non-selfishness because I could have chicken wing take it back and
Right.
gave it to him,
You sure?
but I didn't.
I'm thinking my
Instead,
ACL might have popped.
no, I thought like, look, get the first down,
Right.
get as much as you can, get down. Got the first down, got as much as I can, and got down. But what people don't know about that play is anybody in the stands in the audience thought that was business as usual. That's how it was supposed to go. It wasn't. All I remember is going to the sideline, Coach Don Solinger, the old Donnie Solinger.
Bro.
What the fuck, bro? And I'm thinking, listen,
the 4x4, bro.
I'm thinking I'm in trouble. What the fuck, bro? He goes, come here, give me a hug, bro. You got some big fucking balls, bro. You got some big fucking balls, bro. Balls like this, bro. Right? And for me, that's probably my most memorable play because if I remember correctly, that's the last time I was on a football field wearing a University of Miami uniform. And again, like I said, it bookended it. I came in as a linebacker. I played running back my freshman year. My freshman year, I scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
I always thought I was still a running back at heart, right? And I ended up my Miami career with the ball in my hand.
That's cool.
Won the game.
That's a cool story, man.
No, I need you guys to say I won the game.
I think John Petty won the game with the field goals, but hey, we'll give you that.
Yeah, we can be splitting hairs here. But
I need you guys to say I
you
won
want
the
us
game.
to reinforce your
sure?
mindset?
Yeah, we can edit it out, but I just
I'm
want to
gonna
hear it
go
from
to
me.
three.
No, I'll thank God for DJ Williams.
Yeah.
Like, thank God.
When not saying it.
You should have shook the guy. Bro.
Thank God for DJ Williams. What?
For not knowing how to count 5x3 and counting 4x4 and saying, fuck it, I'm running it anyway. It doesn't matter because I'm going
Great
to take this
slide.
shit over and I'm going to go ahead and make this game my game.
And
I got it.
And winning the game.
And winning the game.
There it is, baby.
Yes.
Winning the goddamn game.
I got you. Yeah,
Get
no.
it, get it.
Why did it always have to
So
come
hold
back
on,
to you,
your
though?
favorite memory has to be mine as well because you was back there.
No, that was no.
We just throw yours
No.
on top of mine. When
hell
you go to
no.
tell your story, look, my favorite
Hell
moment
no.
is the fake punt that DJ.
Hell no. I look like an idiot. Hell no. No, it's funny. So I guess I had two moments. One would be introduction to Florida State Miami because I never really watched football growing up. So I didn't know anything about.
Well, you was a soccer player?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then both my parents are foreigners. So there is no like, oh, grandfather likes the Dolphins. So mom likes the Dolphins. Like, no.
Gotcha.
My mom really didn't care about sports. She read a book the first football game. She came for me. My dad still doesn't know anything about football. He's in Bahamas. So there was no football in my family. So when I started playing and you go on the visits and you go on unofficial visits. So, hey, you want to come down for Miami, Florida State? I was like, yeah, let's do this. Brought my boy, brought my teammate that was getting recruited. It was wide left 3 Badia in the 12 o'clock when you guys ran the screenplay with Willis, you know?
Yeah.
Was that the one where I scored a touchdown?
No. That was that 2 years before that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is 2002.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2002. And I just remember because it ran out of water in the stadium in the OB. So everyone was dying.
Was that strategic or did we really run out of water?
No, I think they really ran out of freaking water.
Damn.
Yeah, we were dying. But to get introduced to this atmosphere was crazy because not knowing anything, you're like, all right, going to go to a football game. And all of a sudden, the people fighting in the parking lot and the cursing. And I remember my mom looking at me when the first time the Miami fans started going, fuck you, Seminoles, with their finger. She's looking at me like, what is going on?
Vulgarities.
I'm not sending my son to this school.
The vulgarities.
And then it's crazy. The kick is missed and it's nuts. And I'm like, damn, that's why. And then I became a football junkie after that. But I guess my fondest memory of being in it probably wasn't even me. It was probably my freshman year when we played Florida State in the rain game, which I call the Sean Taylor game. Because, I mean, you just look at Sean in the game and you're like, dude should have 6 picks, probably 3 sacks, a couple tackles for loss, 15 tackles. Yeah, could have won the game himself, and he pretty much won the game himself. And that's what I look as the Sean T game. And that's the first thing anybody asks me. I'm like, Sean T game, rain game.
I saw that you posted today, beat FSU week and UGA beat Tennessee week, or what was the 2 things that you posted today for Dime?
Rivalry,
Rivalry.
Yeah, I was asking, which
one are you guys going to watch?
Yeah.
And that picture that you posted there, and I ain't going to lie to you. I was sitting on the can, a little bit TMI, but I was sitting on the can and I was looking at that photograph and I clicked it and I zoomed in on it. And just watch. Okay, first of all, people don't know who Greg Jones is. You need to look him up because he's probably one of the most Adonis-looking human beings I've ever seen in my life. And his locker used to be like 2 down from me with the Jaguars. And I'll never forget when he came in and took his gear down. And I'm like, again, I don't know why I'm talking about this. This is the 3rd time today now.
Pause.
What we
just
got
say
going
no
on
homo
now?
before you do it.
Hashtag no homo before
There
I
you
do
go.
it. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, and like Fred's over here, right? Fred Taylor's over here barking. He's talking about something. We're going back and forth with the Florida State, Florida, Miami stuff. And then G Jones, he had like all these elastics in his mouth and he had braces. First grown ass man I've seen with like braces and like 300 elastics in his mouth and he could barely talk. And he's like making noises. And I'm like, oh, you're the running back here from Florida State. And like as he's gearing down, he's pulling his like girdle down and his hamstring, I swear to God.
I thought this was a goddamn dick story. No. I was about to say I don't want to be a part of this.
I didn't see a schmeat. I was more physically impressed because growing up as a kid, I was like into like bodybuilding, and I was like, the only reason why I worked out and played football was to like try to look good and get chicks. That's solely the only reason why I did that.
What else?
Come on.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm watching the hamstring first of all, and his hamstring was like, it looked like a goddamn cow's belly. It was so big, and then he like took his shirt off. And it looked like he had tennis balls cut in half, glued to his stomach. And then as he was doing that, he had like the rib muscles that bodybuilders have as he's pulling it over.
Lats.
And then I saw veins in his lats. And I'm like looking at this dude and I'm like, this guy was a running back? And I was like, G Jones. I was like, how much do you weigh, man? He's like, man, about 258.
How much?
I remember that. Listen.
No, say the way you get.
Man, about 258. And I was like, you're 260 pounds? And he was like, yeah. And they tried to convert him. He was a tailback. They tried to convert him into a fullback. And then they brought Chris Fuamatu-Ma'afala in from the Steelers. And it was like those 2 guys were in the backfield, about 250 apiece. But G. Jones looked a whole different.
He don't tear his ACL. He would have been one of the elite running backs in the NFL.
Monster. And Jacksonville didn't use him properly. Like Jacksonville did not use him properly.
But they had too much depth. They had Jones Drew. They had Fred Taylor.
Freddie T.
Yeah, they had a lot of
Who
backs,
still doesn't
man.
get
And then
the love for the Hall of
Brendan
Fame.
Tofield they had from LSU too. They gave him some love over there, trying to show him some love. But I've never seen a body built like that.
Y'all remember what he did to the North Carolina kid? You ever seen that video?
Yeah. The forearm.
Google that video.
First of all, what I remember from that is he had the best shield I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Because I ain't going to lie. If you put that uniform on right, it get fly. His shield was like fire flames.
Really?
Like, that garnet with the fire. And it like,
Yeah. It looked badass in the backfield.
Man, he caught that man in the open field. He gave him just,
I don't know if he went
forearm. No, it was a forearm. It knocked his helmet off?
But I split his shit.
Bro.
No way.
What?
Remember on Dave Chappelle when Rick James, he kicked him, pow!
Yeah.
I gave him a front kick, pow! Ah! That's what the kid did. Ah! Right? You can even see like the cord. Ah!
No way.
Bro.
But dead.
To add to your story earlier, he was in my draft class, and all I remember is, like you said,
We got him second round, I think, if I'm
seeing
not
this
mistaken.
kid, looking at him, whatever, right? I just remember, a lot of people don't know, they treat you like cattle at
the combine's
at the
brutal.
combine.
Combine's
So you
brutal.
go in there in your little underwear and you pull your shirt off.
Mm-hmm.
They say your name,
Take
get your arms out,
Front pictures, side
front, back,
pictures.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All I remember is when Greg Jones went in there, he went in with his shirt He grabbed it with one hand and pulled it all like this, right? And all I heard was, and then a bunch of old white men got the writing shit in the book. Got the writing shit in the book. That's all I remember. The one here,
bro.
Got the writing shit in the book.
So
People don't get
what
it.
as a defensive, like in the room when leading up to that game, like what are y'all talking about? Like
Gang tackle him.
No.
Nobody wanted
When you
to
see
one-on-one him.
here it is. When you see somebody like that, first you want to find out if he has heart. And I remember the first game that we played him where he did give us the business. He had about a 150, 160, 160 yards. I just remember it being one play and, Vilma hit him high. I hit him low. Mosice came and hit him. Sean hit him. Dookie hit him. We piled up on him like 7 deep. You're down at the end of the bottom of the pile. You face mask to face mask. Pussy nigga, you talking shit. And he's just sitting down there breathing like this.
Yeah, there was no emotion from Greg Jones.
None. No emotion, right?
Scary.
I remember him
That's
getting
like
back.
Michael Myers
Look,
shit.
getting back up, getting in the backfield, doing it again. Pow, pow, pow. Usually you break somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You hear fucking noises.
Just breathing.
Just breathing. And then I remember looking at him, because I was around the same side. I said, my 250 don't look like his 250.
Bicep, tricep,
Bro.
shoulders. Like he would bend over to tie his shoe, and like when you straighten your arm out and like your tricep kind of flops a little
That
bit.
shit just
His shit went like 5 or 6 inches either way, and horseshoe, like a horse just kicked the back of his arm. Bop. And I was like, oh my God, dude. It just, you're not, and he goes, man, you think I'm big? You got to see my uncle. And I was like, what do you mean? And apparently the dude and his uncle came to practice a couple times. I was like, this ain't right. Like they look like professional bodybuilders.
They
playing
have
ball.
to be where Bailey from. 100%.
they country strong.
No. They got to be where Bailey from.
Yeah, they got some.
That
that's another
that
guy.
little island in Georgia that's off the
alligator
yeah.
wrestling and shit.
I'm tired of talking about Florida State guys, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. Like, we got to throw some love to. So Bailey on our side that's another dude that's just built different.
Yeah, but he walked in the room and Coach Swayze's like, I was done.
But did Bailey have big legs?
Bailey
had big everything.
Yeah,
Bro,
big legs too.
He came in as a linebacker, 247 as a senior.
And he's like 6'4", 6'5", isn't he? Like, yeah, big.
6'3", 6'4".
I looked over, I go to Swayze. What's that? He goes.
He started smiling.
I said,
cheesing.
oh,
This is what I said.
hell
I said, if you ever saw an all black on black Escalade, and then if somehow you could put it up on 2 wheels, that's what Bailey looked like.
No, when I first saw him in the locker
Monster.
room, when I came back and I saw that dude in that locker room, I was just like,
He came in
who
as a
the hell is
linebacker. He ended up
this?
playing nose in the league.
Yeah, they moved him to.
Yeah.
They had to because
Bro,
it
took
was
my-
Swayze.
Took my clean record, bro.
Oh,
here we
and
go.
then-
Now it's about
and then
you
he's a
again.
D lineman,
He's
so
bringing
then
it back to
shouldn't
you
count.
again.
They need to go put an asterisk next to it.
By the way, we're going to change the name of this podcast. It's going to be like the DJ Williams and Buddies podcast.
Right?
It has to be.
Just
And
trying to get some
friends.
love, bro.
And friends.
DJ and friends.
DJ
Just
and
getting,
friends.
just getting
DJ
some
and
love, bro.
Florida State for me, there's a lot of great memories. A lot of memories that I can't remember, but a lot of great memories. But I think for me, I'll always remember the aura, like the feeling, more than anything to me. There's plays, there's really cool plays. There's like times going one-on-ones and, talking a little bit of shit and pulling and hitting linebackers and doing screens and stuff like that, which is really cool and awesome. But I think just the ambiance of the stadium, the feeling of the week leading up to it, the emotion, the will and the want from not just players, but coaches, from fans, you could feel it in the community. Like this whole community thrived on that game. And obviously we all wanted to get back to what it was when we were the 2 top college football programs in college football, at least top 5. You know what I mean? This game is so special, but it really transforms a community, this game. And for me personally, walking places to get groceries or just walking off of campus and having people saying good luck or whoop their ass, or, I know you're going to give it to them. And, and then you got Florida State people talking shit to you too as well. It's just I think that for me is what I missed the most about not participating in that game anymore. And then that feeling in the stadium, the being a captain, going out for the coin toss, being on the sideline, strapping your shit up and snapping, and it's about to go down, like clicking that helmet and getting ready to go to war for the next 3.5 hours. And basically, and I don't want to compare ever, and I always say this, I don't want to compare soldiers to football players, but it's about as goddamn close as we can get to being a soldier. And literally 11 guys going to battle, trying to kill the dude across from you, all day long for 3 hours, like just nonstop fighting, relentless, breathing hard, knowing you're probably going to throw up, knowing you're going to hurt like hell the next day, knowing you're probably going to get injured, dislocate a finger, pop an elbow, separate a shoulder, AC joint, whatever. It didn't matter. Like that was almost like given. And you almost look forward to having something like that happen on that Saturday. So whether it was a high noon game at 3 o'clock, a primetime game at 7:30, which is what we got going on this weekend against Florida State, I want these guys to like understand and cherish the feeling leading up to this game, more so than, the individual itemized plays that they're going to be getting graded on, but just not necessarily respect the history behind it, but definitely envelop yourself and get captivated by the whole process of Miami versus Florida State. That's more about that for me than it is about the individual game.
And the shit should be rocking this weekend.
Please get your ass over to the Hard Rock, man. DJ's throwing a badass tailgate too. Dime Life. Get in the Discord once again, ladies and gentlemen. Become members. Take over. Chat. He's always got guys jumping on, jumping off.
If you want to listen, if you want to talk Canes football, man, with your peers or with legends, you got to join the Discord.
Join the Discord.
You going to the game, bro?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Before we close this out, though, like, what is it that you want to see? What is it that you want to see? What are you excited about? What are you expecting to see?
I want to see it. I want to see them having fun like we had fun when we played against Florida State. Coming together, the unity. Like, although, yes, the fans are awesome, the camaraderie, the cheering, the aura, the music, the Phil Collins, that's all part of it. But when you're on that field in your own little world with the other 10 guys that you're standing around, it's really about you guys at that point in time. And I want to see them having fun. I want to see them celebrating. I want to see the defense ripping dudes apart and high-fiving each other and jumping and whatever you call that, jump bumping or whatever the hell. I want to see that all over the goddamn field. And I'm okay. I'm okay with hitting a dude a little bit extra out of bounds. I'm okay with, as you're getting up off of him, rubbing your forearm up into his throat and up underneath his chin and getting him a little upset about his evening at Miami. Like I want to see that, the extracurriculars that are desired upon by former football players, former Canes, guys that are going to be like, I like that guy. Something that's going to make me say, ooh, I like that guy. He's one of us.
What about you?
You can't sum it up more than that. But look, I'll just say this. You know what's the most fun? Getting a damn W. That's all I want. I don't care how we do it. I don't care if we win 3-2 this week. Mm-hmm. If we get the W. No, I just want to see some fight, some hunger, like that they care with passion, like you mentioned, like get the little extra shots in the right way. But,
correct.
I want to see dudes that actually care to be in this rivalry, care to wear this U, have some heart, have some emotion. They showed a smidget last week against Virginia at the end of the game. They showed a lot of fight.
That shit
should be 10 times,
10x,
100 times
exponential
more. And I want to see that, and I want to see it from the opening snap. Whether it's kickoff or kickoff return, like Coach Saul used to say, go smash somebody. Who's going to set the tone? And we had a lot of dudes that wanted to set the tone.
It really was a tone. Like, no matter what, every time it was either a kickoff or a kickoff return. It's either a dude getting knocked out, a fumble, some dude getting ran out of bounds for 30 freaking yards down a sideline. Like, it's guaranteed.
I tell people all the time, I was spoiled as a freshman being a kicker at Miami with my kickoff team. Because you had dudes with, and now we ain't talking about the guys like Sean that was on there and Trell and everybody else. We talking about dudes that really don't get talked about a lot. But that was their baby. We had Carl Walker and Jarrell Weaver, twin.
Jay Scott.
These dudes would literally, they would be like this. I'm going to win. Let's go. Who's going? Ready?
Racing down. Carl Walker had the biggest freaking strides too, man.
Keith, I'm going to drop the name. Keith Fitzgerald. James Lewis. I remember.
So they were before me.
I remember one time, we fucked them up because Hester used to always be on kickoff, but he was a safety. One time we went one live. So the number 2 was the guy that pulled out.
You gotta let the listener know what the hell that means, man.
No, okay.
Even I'm sitting over here lost.
All right. So when you have a kickoff team, it's usually 5x5.
Right.
Right. And usually what you do is you take either number 1 or 2 as everybody starts to run down, they pull out and they fold in to be safety in case somebody.
So I'm the kicker's one safety and then they're the other safety.
Yep.
So usually that safety is the same guy game after game after game.
Gotcha.
So the opposing team, when they're putting in their blocking scheme, they don't count for.
Okay.
Right. So at the end, the offense is sitting out, looking out, return team. They say, okay, there goes number 4. Here's how we set up our blocking scheme.
Yep.
Well, this time we had Hester go live. So they had nobody schematically set for Hester.
Right.
Considering he's probably the fastest guy on our team.
Right.
He damn near hit the guy as soon as he caught the fucking ball.
Really?
But that was the difference, dog. Like, you had young pups, you had starters, you had guys that are now legends, college football Hall of Famers, right? Pro football Hall of Famers, like Super Bowl champions on kickoff, R5, R3, running down and bashing skulls.
Trying to put their stamp on the game.
Skulls.
That's really what they are. They're trying to put their name on the game.
For me, like I said earlier, I think this game is a turning point. And when I say turning point, I think that the coaching staff is going to be able to point out that small nucleus of guys and say, this is who we're going to be able to build off of, right? Because again, for me, this game isn't about X's and O's, right? There's going to be mistakes made. I want guys exerting themselves, right? Playing out of their mind, playing out of their body. Like you mentioned, you should be hurt. You should be injured.
Yeah.
You should be dehydrated. You should not be going to the club after.
Hell no. I spent the night in the emergency room.
You should not. But if you get that dub, you put that Henny in you, that's that fuel. You put that yak in you, right? But that's what I want to see. I want to see.
And you get 9 checks.
I want to see guys that.
Yeah.
I want to see guys that want it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see guys that want it, right? And if I can see this team and guys that want it, I'll forgive. I'll be honest. I'll forgive all the shit that I see. And I think that's how the fan base is as well. Want to see guys that want it. Want to see guys that exert themselves. Want to see guys going full speed. Violence. Talking shit.
Yeah.
Hit stick. Bust dick. Talk shit. What? Talk shit. What? Talk shit. Motherfucking shit.
Yeah. I'd love to see guys chomping at the bit. Like, I remember watching Willis and Portis and Frankie and James Jackson and Najee arguing on the sideline about who's going to get in and how many yards.
I was just about to say, do you understand that all those guys besides James Jackson were in the same backfield?
Yeah. And
I want to add to that I was a part of that backfield.
Here we go.
Gino was a part of that backfield.
DJ and buddies.
DJ and friends.
Hey,
man, this is DJ Williams, OTH podcast. I'm signing out.
Wait, hold on.
These two guys.
Before we sign out. Can the camera look at me? Something we talked about before earlier in another podcast. Look at me real quick. Hey, you Tua haters. How y'all doing out there? Y'all good? Y'all feeling all right? He can't play still? Okay. Keep watching.
You are going to plant that Tua flag.
Hey, man.
You haven't stranded far from that flag at all.
Bro, he's psycho.
My thing is this.
He's psycho.
Who? Tua?
Bro, he gets one more hit in the head, it's over.
I don't care.
Why is he running the ball and not sliding?
He slid this game. He slid.
He slid forward. It was weird. It was almost like a gator roll, seat roll.
He slid this. It's a Samoan slide. That's what it was. It was a Samoan slide.
I like that.
That's what it was. My thing is this. I'm planting the flag because there's still Dolphins fans that are Tua haters that say, nah, I need more. What you mean you need more?
You don't need more.
You
No, you
said
don't.
that the dude can't play.
That offense
in
is
this league.
explosive too.
Coming from a couple professional football players and a lot of people that know what the hell they're talking about football, that man is all real. It's all legit.
And on top of that,
There ain't
he's
no
won
question
on
about
every
him.
level that he's been on. Like, people don't ever give credit to that.
Champion. He knows how to win. And then you put that label on a bunch of different people. Like, oh, he knows how to win. He's a winner. Okay, that's great. But this dude, he's for real. Like, he's legit.
He's also 5-0 in games he starts and finishes this year. But hey, you know what? It's all good.
DJ and friends, you're going to go ahead and get this
Go
one.
ahead, baby. Go ahead.
Hold on a minute. Did he?
Go ahead, baby.
Did you come on with baby me? Did you just hit the baby me?
He did.
Hey, Ron, go ahead.
Oh, we just walking off. Damn, we really are DJ and friends now. We're just guys.
Brothers.
We're happy and we're singing and we're color. Give me a high.
Out the huddle, baby. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. DJ Williams, Discord, Dime Life. Get involved, man. Dime Life. Follow the Twitter accounts, follow the Facebook accounts, follow the IG accounts, man. We're dropping some really cool stuff out here. We're talking some really good shit about football, Canes football in particular. Brian Monroe, always a pleasure. Mastermind. The guy knows names. You guys want to try to stump the Monroe? I think we're going to have the thing on Twitter space. Stump the Monroe, man.
Oh, no.
Brian came off the top rope last week trying to hit somebody up with some real, how's that feel for you business?
You ain't going to talk shit in our Twitter space and not expect to have names dropping back.
You can't.
Tuesday nights, Twitter space, every Tuesday
night, man, 7 o'clock, we'll be on that thing. So thank you all for joining us, and we really appreciate all of your support. Brought to you by Dime Life and nothing else, to be perfectly honest with you. Dime Life. Looking for a liquor sponsor. Shout out.
Oh, Crown Royal, what's up? Hit me up. Canada, I love you. Canada.
Bacardi. Let me know.
Call me.
Just dropping seeds here.
Crown, black crown, crown vanilla, crown apple, every crown.
Every year at Dime Life, we continue to try to take it to the next level. Fly merch, watch parties, now we're getting into the content game. Slide over to our YouTube channel, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications.